What if your soul never fell? What if everything you've been told about sin, punishment, and karma was a lie? Why do you feel like you don't belong here? Why does some part of you remember a world of light, a world before fear, even though you've never seen it? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover why your soul chose to descend into this life, not to suffer, but to awaken something ancient within this world of shadow. You've been told that your soul came to Earth to learn, to evolve, to pay a price. But the truth, hidden for nearly 2,000 years, says otherwise. According to one of the most mysterious texts ever uncovered, you didn't fall. You volunteered, not as punishment, but as light entering darkness. This text, buried in the sands of Nag Hammadi, was never meant for the masses. It was written for those who remember, those who look around this world and feel that something isn't right, that something sacred has been erased, that they were never meant to forget who they are. That text is called The Secret Book of John, and what it reveals could unravel everything you thought you knew about reality, about yourself, about why you're really here. In the Secret Book of John, it's written that a false creator, a blind architect called the Demiurge, built this world, not out of love, but out of error. He believed he was God, but he was only a shadow of the real source. So he shaped a world out of matter, imperfect, cold, confused, and trapped fragments of the divine light inside forms of flesh. That light is you. But here's the part no one told you. You didn't get trapped. You stepped in, willingly, not to serve the system, but to awaken others inside it. You're not a victim of karma. You're a carrier of memory, of light, of truth. The Gnostics said the soul enters the body like a spark sent into darkness, surrounded by lies, fears, distractions, but carrying a seed that never dies. And the only way that seed can grow is by forgetting, and then remembering again. That's the game. That's the design. That's why you're here. Not to chase achievements, not to win approval, but to wake up in a world that doesn't want you to remember who you are. So when you feel like you don't fit in, when you question everything, when you're haunted by the sense that this world is off, that's not dysfunction. That's the signal. You're not broken. You're early. You're remembering something most people spend lifetimes trying to ignore, that you are not from here, but you came here for a reason. But what is that reason? Why would a soul made of light enter a world built on fear? The ancient texts whisper it clearly. Because only in the dark can light prove what it is. In the realm of pure perfection, nothing evolves. But in the density of illusion, where truth is hidden and the soul forgets its name, something miraculous can happen. The spark can reignite itself. You were sent not to escape this world, but to transform it. Your awakening isn't for you alone. It's a chain reaction. When one soul remembers, it leaves a ripple behind, and those ripples begin to wake the others. That's why the system fears you. That's why distraction is constant. That's why pain has been normalized. Because if even a handful of souls begin to remember the original code, the false architecture begins to collapse. And it's already happening. You see it in your dreams. You feel it when silence suddenly feels louder than sound. You know it when someone speaks a truth, and your body reacts before your brain understands. These are signs. The map is activating. The codes are responding to your awareness. But there's one thing you need to do now. Stay awake. Every distraction is designed to dull your inner signal. Every fear is built to turn you away from the inner flame, and every time you fall back asleep, the system breathes easier. So now is the moment. You've heard the call. You've felt the pull. And if you're still watching, then your soul has already decided. You came here not to follow the rules, but to remember the truth behind them. You are the hidden key, and the lock is waiting. Now you see it, you feel it, and somewhere deep inside, you've always known it. Your soul didn't come here by accident, it didn't fall. It wasn't sent here to suffer, to repent, or to serve. It came here for one reason only, to remember what it is, and remind the world. The Secret Book of John wasn't meant to be a myth. It was a map, a message encoded for souls like yours. ones who would awaken in the noise and start listening to the silence again. It tells you, you are not the identity the world handed you, not your name, not your past, not even your thoughts. You are the awareness behind it all, the one who sees, the one who remembers. And once you remember, everything begins to change. You stop chasing approval. You stop believing in the fear. You stop trying to fit into systems designed to drain your light. Instead, you begin to walk differently, to see differently, to speak truths that echo from somewhere far older than this lifetime. You begin to radiate something that has no language, but every awakened soul instantly recognizes. You become the signal. That's why the distractions come stronger now. That's why your doubts grow louder. That's why the path sometimes feels lonelier, because you're close. And the system always resists most, right before the breakthrough. So don't turn back, even when it gets dark, even when nothing makes sense, even when your old life starts to fall apart. That's not destruction, that's recalibration. The illusion collapses when the truth no longer needs it. And here's the truth worth remembering, even when everything else fades. You are not a seeker. You are what was being sought. You are not lost. You are what the lost have been waiting to find. You are not from here, but you came here on purpose, to bring light into the dark, to awaken a sleeping world, to fulfill the reason your soul chose this place, this time, this body, with all its pain, all its beauty, all its weight, because within you is the memory of the original source, and that memory is more powerful than any system, any fear, any lie. So before you scroll, before the next distraction pulls you back into sleep, pause, close your eyes, breathe, let everything become still. Then ask yourself, not with words, but with presence, why did I come here? And listen, because the moment you do, the silence will answer. If this message spoke to something buried deep in you, you're not alone. There are others waking up, and what comes next will shake everything. Watch the next video, because there we go deeper into the final illusion the soul must face before it finally breaks free. Your awakening has already begun. The map is unfolding, and the door is open.